You should listen. Your dreams should take you through. Your dreams should take you through. I laugh because in Zimbabwe we were looking for this gold mine. We wanted to take over a gold mine with Kenny. There was 3 of us. And we had to go and see if this is the place we want. And we're walking through bulrushes, this high. And there are snakes. And our one friend, Colin, when we start in the mud, he says, are we stopping? We said, no, we must go on the other side. He says, yo, I don't love muddy like this. And he went back. And as we were walking, Kenny said to me, yo, G, what it basically means, what I basically just to translate, he said to me, G, our dreams will take us to faraway places. And my wish today and my message to you is, don't you dare give up on your dream. Don't you dare. Listen to me, don't you dare give up on your dream. Listen, a dream for some of you that are religious, if the Lord has planted a dream in your heart, it's your duty to fulfill that dream. It's your duty. You know, let me tell you something. There's nothing that you can tell your kid one day if you've not followed your dream. Your kids are ruthless. They'll say to you, what did you achieve? Leave me alone. Let me live my life. Wait. If you're hopeless now, you want to live your life through me. Wait. Let us both be hopeless. Your mom left you to be hopeless. Let me also be hopeless. We are a hopeless family. Again, you've taught us you are a hopeless family. So let's continue with the hopelessness. Even I'm going to inspire my kid to be hopeless. Because you showed us what hopelessness is. And people look at it like, oh no, I've achieved. You've arrived. Arrived where? You know what is it about a dream? I always say to myself, if I can only have a BMW. If I can only have a BM, God can take me. We say those things, don't laugh me like you're not saying it. Like, you know, if I can have a jet, the Lord can take me. And I remember the day I was working at SAP, earning 1,000 rands a month. And I worked for 8 months every day. I never took one day off. And one day my boss called me. He says, Gayton, you got to go to Johannesburg. We got big news for you. And I rocked up in Joburg, and when I rocked up, they were sitting in a half moon. But you have to look at me to understand what I'm going to say. In prison, when you say no, this is what you do. When you say yes, this is what you do. Because you see, the wardens are looking at you from the top. So they ask, do you have drugs? You go, it's yes, we understand, but they think it's no. So that's how I lived for 10 years of my life. And when I came to see the bosses of SAP, they said, McKenzie, you know, you've worked so hard. You never complain. You're the hardest worker here. I want to give you an increase. I want to give you 20,000. Do you accept? I said, they said I must go outside. And I went outside and I went like, yes, I'm going to earn 20,000 a month. And then I realized, I said, no. I knocked, they're like, wait, and I knocked again. I said, I can explain. They're like, wait, we're still talking. I'm like, When I came, once again, you never interfere people when the Lord has put something in their hearts. I walked in and they said, Mr. McKenzie, we spoke. You deserve double. Will you accept 40,000? I said, yes! Yes! And coming from jail, you there's a lot, like, I'm going to move back to it just after what I'm saying to you now. People don't understand how hard it is to come from jail to adjust to life on the outside. It's very hard. I'm going to take you guys through 3 minutes of it. But one thing that they said to me, they said, when I got my first paycheck, they said, Mr. McKenzie, you must open a bank account. I've never had a bank account. And I said, what must I do? I went to the bank, I said, I want a bank account. And they laughed at me. And I went back to work. I was very dejected. I said, they don't want to open a bank account for me. And my boss said, let me call some lady there. Sandra was her name. He called Sandra. He says, listen, I'm sending one of our workers here. Please open a bank account for him. We need to pay his salary now. And then he sent through my salary advice, how much I'm going to get, 40,000. And when I came there, the lady said, so Mr. McKenzie, did you bank with us previously? I said, no. He said, do you have any banking experience? I said, yes. Technically, I wasn't lying. I dealt with bank very infrequently. So, said, do you have any bank? I said, yes. So he opened an account for me and she said, you know what? You actually qualify. She said, for what? I said, for what? You can buy a car that's worth 400,000. You don't say that to a black man. Then I went to BMW to go and buy a 330 Ci. But when I arrived there was other plans the Lord had for me. And they just delivered the first BMW M3 convertible. And I was wearing All-Stars, shorts, and I had the sporty on. And I said to the black and white salesperson there, I want this car. And they started to laugh. You know that laugh that's so infectious? You have to join in. And we had a good laugh. And I joined in. After a minute, I'm like, so why are we laughing again? They said, you want us buy this car. And I was about to get angry because I could afford it. An Indian salesperson came. Now, the reason why I respect Indians, they can smell money 10 kilometers away. And he looked at me and he said, Mr. McKenzie, yes? I said, I would like to buy this car. He said, would you like to take it for test drive? I said, yes, please. He gave me the keys. We jumped in the car, drove out, and I started to speed. He said, sorry, sir. You said you Mr. McKenzie? I said, yes. There's pedestrians here, there are dogs here, there are traffic cops here. Let's go to a quiet road, then you can put it down. I said, cool. He took me to the quietest of roads I've ever seen. Only trees, nobody. And I was doing 240. And he looked at me and he said, so, sir, are you from the ANC government? I said, no. He says, so where are you from? There was nobody around. I said, I'm from Grootfontein Maximum Security. No, I said, I'm from prison. He says, prison? Oh, Robben Island. I said, no. Grootfontein Maximum Security Prison for hardened criminals. He says, for what? I said, for hijacking a car. I said, I got 3 kids. I bought a car. But what I'm trying to say to you is that you look sometimes at a person's end or halfway through his story without knowing what that person had to endure. Stop comparing yourself to people. You do not know their battles. Everybody wants to walk in your shoes until they really get to walk in your shoes. Don't compare yourself to no one. And this is not just talk. Don't compare yourself to no one. We all have a talent. When we were in jail, all of us, Mendoza came out of jail. Mendoza was in prison. And when Mendoza went out, we all said, Ndoslin, we used to call him Ndoslin. Ndoslin's got all these cars. He's got all these things. And the guys who were in prison was like also, everybody was start training like, and it became a joke in jail to say, you make money for the people on the outside, you must just come like, and prisoners were really training that. Like, listen, this was a serious bet that you love. That is a serious, in jail we think about how we're going to make money on the outside. Now you see Mendoza, there's no singing happening there. He's going, everybody in jail, you walk into the corridors, you see guys going, no, I'm going out next week. He's telling you he's getting his thing out. He's getting ready. You know a guy when he goes, he's about to go out. You know this guy is about to go out. And everybody wanted to do that. And I looked at myself, I'm like, what can I do? And you know what? All those guys that imitated Mendoza, none of them made it. Because they were not themselves. Everybody sitting here, let me tell you something. There's something that you're good at. Everybody sitting here, there's something that you're good at. And you've got one task in life. To find that thing that you're good at. Because that is your springboard for the greater things that you want to achieve. Some of you want to start on the 9th floor instead of starting in the basement. You got to start in the basement. If you have to wash cars, wash cars. If you have to sell apples, sell apples. If you have to clean the drain, clean the drain. Because that will take you to the next floor, and the next floor, and the next floor. This thing of starting at the 20th floor is witchcraft. It's witchcraft. This thing does not happen. A guy asked me once, gee, how can I make it? I also want to drive a Porsche like you. Okay, what do you drive now? I have no car. Get ahead. Go and buy a bicycle. Come say I must motivate you here. Come say to me, gee, can't you not motivate me to also drive a Porsche? Get what you driving, Harry? Nothing. Get go start a bicycle. Harry, but I'm asking for motivation. Get that's motivation. You're sitting at least. So, you know, so many people will tell you, I see motivational speakers in this country. They talk about things that they've read. He reads a lot of books. He's even making notes for you. I never once went to notes here. Because what I'm telling you, I've not read. I'm telling you about my life. I had nothing. You know, my girlfriend was in Canada a few weeks ago and I called her. I was very emotional. The day when I came out of jail, I was for the first time wearing a suit and a tie. And there's a lesson for you in this story. I was wearing a suit and a tie. And the guy that was taking me out to jail was a friend of mine, the warden. And he said, McKenzie, come sit in front. And my friends were clapping hands because for the first time a prisoner sitting in front with my tie. And while I was sitting in front, one warden saw, no way. And he came, he says, go to the back. I was shattered. He says, you don't belong here. I was not about to mess up my going out. So I went with my suit to the dust. And it was smelling of pee in the back. And all I could hear was, you don't belong here. You don't belong here. You don't belong here. I could hear nothing else than you don't belong here. I came out of jail. I did what I did. 13 years after hearing those words. 3 weeks ago, I was in China. I was at the Western Hotel in Guangzhou. I was booked in that hotel. And I went for breakfast in the morning. And the manager came to me. Said, Mr. McKenzie, you don't belong here. Listen, in that moment, all I could hear again was, you don't belong here. And just I was about to deal with this man in front of me. He said, you are one of our VIP clients. You go to the 89th floor in the executive breakfast. That's where you belong. I said, amen. I said, well, I actually know I don't belong here, but I wanted to see how the other people are doing here at the crowd, you know. I wanted to see how they are doing. But one can't forget where you're coming from. And I was telling the manager, you know, I had to see how the other people, it humbles me to see where I'm coming from.